Anybody that's familiar with knives knows Mora. And I've already done a video about the stainless steel and how I think it's garbage. But I don't want you to think that I think that way about Mora knives. I like their carbon steel knives. I have found that those work the best. They hold an edge. They're relatively durable. If you get the companion heavy duty, you're getting quite a knife. If you want to spend a little bit more money and maybe get an upgraded heat treat, it's the only thing I can think that's different, because it is the same steel. Get the Garberg, but there's something to be said for the heavy duty because it has such a nice handle. Well, you've seen this knife before. This is the companion, this is the thin one. This is the one I use all the time. And you know, really, what, 22 bucks now? I mean, seriously. Just get a drawer full of these. They're almost expendable. My only issue with this is I would like a slightly smaller blade. This is 4 inches. 4-inch blade is a lot of blade. If you want to do more kitchen-y type stuff, and I like to whittle, this can be kind of unwieldy. I am choking up a lot sometimes, and just a shorter blade would be nice. So I had this crazy idea. What would happen if you just threw it in the dryer for a while? And that's what we're going to try and find out today. Can you shrink a companion? Look, I even have a witness. Okay.
"11 minutes later."
Hey, that's hot. Whoa! Aha! It worked! Look, it's shorter. Well, it looks like we have our answer. I bet you none of you thought it could be done. There it is. Shrunk. Somehow, I don't know, magically, the handle stayed the same size. I would have thought it all proportionally would have. But the blade is now smaller. Look at that. Get the handles even. Now, you obviously know I didn't throw it in the dryer. That was a camera trick. How'd you do that, Tom? Great question. Thank you for that. First thing I did was draw where I wanted the new blade to be. Then I used a cut wheel on a Dremel. Didn't crank it way up because then that gets to be too hot. And started sound effect time. And then let it cool. Got that cut away. Then used the belt grinder and ground a curve to mimic this, and then ground that to mimic. So those are basically identical shapes. And then just started grinding a new Scandi edge. When I was close, then I started to use bastard files. There's that word. And using those, just slide along and then cut, slide along and cut, maintaining the same pre-established edge bevel until it was pretty darn close. And then I used a large DMT stone and repeatedly just kept going. Like now it was time to sharpen the knife. Got it to where it was producing a wire edge on both sides. Then I got my handy dandy little Scandivex making apparatus out. If you want to learn more about that, on how to Scandivex a knife, you can watch this video. It details it a little bit more than what I'm giving you now. And then I just kept sharpening until I had the exact same bevel all the way. Sharpened that spine, left that factory. A lot of people, when they first get one of these knives, they think, wow, what a crappy finish on the spine of that blade. hey, for 22 bucks, you know, yeah, these are stamped out. The heavy duty, they finish a little bit more. You know, until you see these things side by side, you don't realize how many differences there are. First of all, let me point out, I added that. This has a slightly extended butt, a longer handle, and it's actually bigger and rounder. But then you look at the spines. See how the thick one is actually finished? The only thing is I have to take it out of the sheath to see which knife it is. Maybe I'll put a different colored lanyard on there and I'll know, hey, that's the short one. I decided that I didn't really want to have a long sheath, so I shortened it. And that was kind of a fun project. I cut a section out of it and then used a soldering iron to plastic weld the thing back together. If you do decide to shorten your Mora and you want to do this, I do recommend doing it in a garage or an outdoor area, because you're going to suffer a little Dane damage regardless. But that's it. You know, looking at it on the screen, I'm not sure I like the way that looks. Just saying. That is how you turn a regular companion into a shorter companion that a lot of you might find to just be a nice, very usable, everyday kind of blade size. Hey, as always, I really do appreciate you coming along this little ride with me, watching this video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.